It warms my heart to see you back. I'm eager to go on with my tale. I awoke the next day to an annoying voice urging me to wake up. Wake up, Your Majesty. What? Who? I asked, puzzled. Wake up. We must hurry to get you ready. I opened my eyes to a smaller dragon in the cave with me. She was hopping from one side of the cave to the other. Who are you, and what do you want? Where is Longor? I asked. Longor is also getting ready for the ceremony, she replied. I don't understand. What ceremony? It's your coronation day. I was instructed to get you fed and ready, and then I'm to take you to the throne room. We mustn't keep them waiting, she replied. I shook off my stupor and stood up. Who are you again? I'm Kr, your chambermaid, Your Majesty. This way, Your Highness. She led me to the adjoining cave. I couldn't recall if I'd seen it the night before. In the cave was a large pool for bathing, and on its other end was a raised platform with 2 whole cows waiting to be eaten. I didn't question the pool, as I knew how particular Longor was about appearance, so I waded in and allowed the chambermaid to manipulate the brushes to scrub my scales clean. When she was finished, I shook off the excess water. My scales shone bright and colorful. On Earth, I hadn't bothered to clean my scales. Now I was a radiant gold, orange, and purple dragon. After admiring my reflection in the pool, I approached the cows. I selected the one that had the least hair on it and ate it. Kr rushed to clean off any blood from my snout and neck. I followed her out of the cave through to the main part of the palace and into the throne room. The throne room was an enormous cavern, decorated with intricate drawings on its walls. The drawings were of long-dead dragons who had ruled Terra. There were lit torches illuminating the cavern. Countless excited dragons on either side forced me to walk down the middle, and their gazes followed me all the way up to the front of the throne room. When I got to the front, I stopped. Longor was there waiting for me on the raised platform. His father was perched on his left, and he nodded to me. It was then I realized what was happening. Longor tricked me. He didn't bring me back to abdicate the throne. He brought me back to be his mate. It was the only way he could legally take the throne with me alive. Guard dragons formed a hedge between me and the attendees. There was no way out. Magic shimmered around me once again. It was over before I even knew it. The collar magically appeared around my neck, and I was his. I was in a daze as dragons approached me to pay their respects. There was a big bonfire in the courtyard where the guests gathered to wish us well and eat. I realized that the collar was also spelled to ensure my compliance. Outwardly, I appeared to be happy, but inside I was screaming bloody murder. I had never really thought about a mate or mating as a dragon or as a human. I understood the mechanics of it, but was never interested. In the human world, I went out with friends and always shied away from dating. If a male approached me, I always put him down easy with a little magic. I was the quintessential friend of our group. Thanks to my magic, no one ever questioned why I was single. Come, it is time we went to our lair, Longor said. I could only look at him as the magic prevented me from disagreeing. We flew to his cave. I realized that he didn't live in the palace, and I entered timidly. I was surprised that it was pleasant, but then again, Longor was a stickler for neatness. The walls and floors shone brightly. Fire blasted to a high sheen. Because of the sheen, the torches on the walls made the cavern brighter. If you need to relieve yourself, go through there. Do not keep me waiting. Longor pointed his massive head to a separate room adjacent to the main chamber. Docilely, I headed to the chamber, did my business, and returned to him. Arrogantly, he was waiting for me in his sleeping chamber. There was fur covering the floor. The chamber was tastefully decorated with wall hangings and sculptures. At least it was comfortable, I thought, as I approached him. "Don't you have anything to say?" he asked me. "You already know how despicable you are. so I needn't remind you. I told you that I didn't want the throne, but you had to be a bastard about it. I wouldn't have needed to resort to this if Mother had listened to me and stepped down. She was ill but stubborn. Then it would have been a matter of merely naming me as her successor, but the bitch held on to the very end. I can't ascend without you. How long must I endure this farce? I asked. Until every dragon gives me the respect I deserve. You will change how things work by decreeing males equal. If you refuse, I will rule through you. There was a menace in his tone. I'll do it. Anything to end this. Whatever this is. In the morning, call for a convocation and I will make the declaration. Afterwards, I want to leave Terra. Why do you want to leave? Your life is here with me, your mate. I don't want to live here. I want to go back to where I was happy. I could never be happy here. I could change your mind. I've always liked you. As hatchlings, you were the best-looking and well-behaved. Everyone liked you. I don't care how the other dragons perceive me. I wasn't accepted because my parents shifted. They were despised. We had no social standing here. You're queen now. You can change that too. I don't care if you change into a human every now and then, because you are a dragon, and you will always be a dragon. You can lift the ban and stigma attached to shifting. Don't you see how much power we have? I began to see an inkling of what he wanted. He wanted power and ways to keep it. By placating my need to shift into the human form, he can easily get his plans in motion. What those plans were, I hadn't a clue, but I was extremely interested in finding out. I was so deep in thought, I didn't detect the magic shimmering around me again. He was on me before I could react. Dragons mated for a long time. Because of the collar, I couldn't resist as much as I wanted to. However, Longor knew his way around a female and unable to resist any longer, I caved. Afterward, I couldn't stand to be near him and went to lie as far away from him as I could. Luckily for me, the chamber was vast. While he slept, I planned. This was an existence I didn't want. I will find a way to escape. I was surprised that he did call for the convocation in the morning. I thought he was agreeing to soften me up, but I sat there impatient for the meeting to start. Don't you think it is rather early to start business, Your Majesty? One of the nobles grumbled. She didn't look quite awake yet. No, I do not. Our queen wanted to get these issues dealt with as quickly as possible. Didn't you, my dear? Longor said. He looked toward me affectionately. Yes, I'm very eager to have things changed, I said. I felt a twinge of pity for him. The noble clearly wasn't addressing him. He answered to assert his authority. 3 more females entered the throne room and arranged themselves as comfortably as possible without laying down, making it a total of 10. Are we all present? I asked. You must wait for my father, dear, Longor said. Once his father, who was considered part of the royal family, arrived, I began. Good morning. I apologize for calling a meeting so soon after my joining, but I am eager to have some rules changed. We have lived in this matriarchy for far too long. It is time that we share equal footing with our male counterparts. So, I propose that we do away with that way of life and have our males not only live equally, but able to rule too. What say you, ladies? What nonsense is this? One noble said, rising up to her full height. It is called progress. With our males equal, life will improve greatly. Tasks allocated to females could easily be done by our males and vice versa, I explained. The other females rose up as well. Females have always ruled on Terra. Our males have their roles, and we have ours. It has been this way for millennia, and I for one do not see any reason to change it, the other female said. Do you not know why females rule, Your Majesty? Asked another. I confess that I was not raised nor educated on Terra. My parents were banished before I could learn the way of life here. So, please enlighten me. Shall I tell her, or will you? The other female directed the question at Longor this time. It doesn't matter as it was a long time ago. What matters now is my mate's desire to change that ruling, Longor replied docilely. Please tell me. I would like to know, I insisted. Back when we first settled on Terra, there was a war between dragon clans. The war lasted for thousands of years. Males ran the clans back then, and it was brutal on the planet. They destroyed everything, and then they left, leaving a small remnant behind. That remnant was female, pregnant and hurting. We had peace for a while until the males returned to war again. We fought back and won. We proposed a treaty with the males, and it has stood firm to this very day. Males are too volatile and greedy. Peace has reigned for millennia on Terra. Not one time did war break out since. Our females were mistreated and used only for procreation. We had no power. As rulers, we treat our males fairly, and the only thing denied them is the throne. I listened and understood that the male population on Terra was using Longor to break the treaty. As the dragon spoke, I watched Longor and his father. They'd been planning on overturning the treaty, and they needed me to accomplish it. Should I care what happens after I'm gone? I needed to think about this. How would it be for the female population if the treaty were overturned? Would the males turn on them? I watched how Longor looked down on the females. I saw hatred in his eyes. His father was better at hiding his feelings, but I sensed the same sentiment in him as well. If you're enjoying the story, stay tuned for the next episode. Please enjoy my other videos, like and subscribe.